Hello beautiful people of YouTube, how are you today? Today we are going to make this beautiful cross-stitch plastic canvas pattern. This is a Pooh Bear. I will show the pattern somewhere on the screen, maybe here, and we will do step-by-step tutorial on how to do this Pooh Bear. So without further ado, let's get started. So we are going to start with this plastic canvas, and this comes in many different colors. I've particularly chosen the yellow one because of the design that we have. I also have few yarns here with which I am going to do the cross stitch on this canvas, and for that I'm going to use the wool needles. These are also by Pony, and I am going to select the middle one. We will also need these new scissors to cut plastic canvas once we are done, but we are not starting with cutting. So let me quickly open this. So with this canvas you can easily make out the front and the back side. The back side is really smooth. We are going to do cross stitch on this side, so this will be our back side. So it is easier if you want to applicate somewhere or you want to put it as a purse bag, then it is easier to have your design on the front and the back side be smooth for stitching purposes later on. So before starting, what we'll do, I will share the pattern somewhere on the screen. According to the pattern, we have to select how much is the length of the pattern and how much is the height. So accordingly, I will select where to start. So if you look at the pattern, it is about 40 stitches, of which 3 and the 3 stitches are empty on the both sides. So what I will do is I will also leave about 3 squares. That won't be 3 stitches, but I will leave some 3 squares from this side and from this side. And from the bottom, the pattern says to leave about 2 squares, but I'm going to leave 4 here. And I'm going to start from bottom corner and we will go to the design to the right and to the top. So it is 40 squares long like this, and I haven't calculated the height because I don't need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave some 3 or 4 squares from here, and I'm going to leave some 3 and 4 squares from the bottom, and I'm going to start somewhere about here in the left bottom corner. So while making the pattern, we will go from left to the right and from bottom to the top, and the pattern will end up somewhere about here, and this place will be empty. I will cut it off later and use for something else. Let me get my wool needle. I am going to do yellow or orange yarn first. I've taken enough yarn and I am just going to cut off with these scissors. Once I have that ready, once again I will show you. I'm going to leave some 3 or 4 squares from the bottom and some 3 or 4 squares from this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be my starting square. But if you look at the pattern, the first square is black. So I'm going to go in the next one. We will do 7 such stitches. The first one will be the black and we will do 7 stitches. Now while doing this, I'm going to pull the yarn but leaving a short tail behind. This is the tail that I've left behind, and then when I'm placing my needle diagonally down, I'm holding that tail with my finger, and while pulling the needle up, I am going to incorporate that tail so that it is held by my stitch, something like this. I'll do few more stitches like this. We have to do total 7. So I have done this second stitch here, and once again while pulling it up, I will be sure that the tail is incorporated inside it, so it is fixed and it will not move once we come back. And now you can see after the 5th stitch, the tail is completely incorporated in this. Now even if I try to pull this, it won't move, and I have secured it without a knot. This is my last 8th stitch. Now I will go back and finish the stitches. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now I will go back and finish the crosses. I have done half cross now. If I go back like this, it will be complete cross. So this is my first row of this yellow yarn and I have done 8 stitches over here. Now let's move on to the next row. In the pattern, if we see, the next row starts from 1 stitch to the left and ends at 1 stitch to the left, but it also has 8 stitches. So let's do that. While coming up, I will come diagonally to the left side so that I can incorporate that 1 stitch. And we'll go on finishing these stitches one by one. If you want a more detailed tutorial on how we do cross stitch, we have done one video where we had made a phone case. You can subscribe to our channel so that you can see all the videos as we upload them. I will also try to place the link of that cross stitch video below so it is easier for you to find. So here I have finished the first leg of the bear and now I'm going with this deep blue color. I did not have any black yarn, so I'm going to use this deep blue color and I'm going to take this wool needle, another wool needle. I've kept the yellow yarn here and I'm going to do the border for this, and we will do the same thing as we did earlier. Following the pattern, I'm starting from here and I'm going to leave some tail so that I can secure it. I'm going to make my first cross here. And as you can see, I have secured this tail inside this stitch. I'm going to complete this stitch and go to the next stitch in the next row. Once again, while doing the next stitch, I'll take small amount of this thread and I'll try to lock it. Once again, I will finish this cross. Once I've secured enough tail, I can simply snip this off like so and keep cross stitching as earlier. We can continue doing cross stitches with the blue yarn according to the pattern. So the next stitch was above this yellow stitch and the next 2 stitches are to the left and the next 3 stitches are 1 to the right of the previous stitch each. Now from here on, there is a complete row. There's a complete row going down, so we will go down like that. Now I am doing the last stitch for the hand of this Pooh Bear, and I just wanted to show you how I tie it off. So this is my last stitch of this hand, and when I want to end this or I want to tie it off, I just pass this last stitch through a few stitches like so, and then I just snip it off. So now this is secure. This last stitch will not move even if I pull it. So with this done, I'm going to do the second hand, which is right over here. So let me once again start at the bottom, leave some tail, try to incorporate it in our work. And as before, I'm simply following the pattern, counting the stitches on the pattern and doing the same amount of stitches here. So in this next row, we have 3 stitches. So I'm doing first half stitch, second half stitch and the third half stitch, and then going back. In the next row, we have 4 stitches and then going back. In the next row, we have 5 stitches. These plastic canvas projects are very good to give to children, as these are very easy and the size of each of this square is pretty big. So before shifting to a cloth or the Ada material, practice our cross stitch on this plastic canvas. So when we switch to the cloth, it becomes easier for us. These two are the last stitches of this hand, and then I'm going to tie it off at the back. Now I am going to do the border to this particular hand, and that will separate these two hands, and I'm also going to do the other leg over here. I will do that off camera and I will come back and show you how it looks in between. I have finished all the bottom yellow part and I have done the border. Now let's move on to the red yarn, and I'm going to fill these parts with the red as per the pattern. Now we have finished with the yellow and the red part. Now let's move on to the face part of the bear. So we have finished all the yellow and red parts. We are doing the final things with deep blue yarn, and let's do the bear's mouth. Now I'm moving on to do his eye. I am then moving on to do his eyebrow. And last but not the least, I will get some white yarn to do a small point on his nose. So we won't need much. We'll get and that is the Pooh Bear. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this leaving one square space here so that I can use it as whatever. I can use it as a bookmark. I can use it whenever if I want to stick it somewhere. So I'm going to cut it from this, but I'm going to leave one square everywhere wherever I'm going to cut. Trying to take care that this last square is not getting cut, but be very careful, or else you first leave one square and then go back and do it like I'm doing now. Our Pooh Bear is ready to use, but I think I'm going to use it as a bookmark. And you can create your own creations using this plastic canvas. As I already said, this is very easy projects for children. The needle as well is not very sharp, so this is perfect craft to give to the kids, and they can make their own creations. But whatever you make, please don't forget to share with us. Like, share and subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.